I'm so mad.
Louder!
I'm so mad right now.
Louder!
I'm so mad.
Say it louder!
I'm so mad.
I do love me how gaming media is a lot more insistent on reporting closures, yet most of those major publications aren't anywhere to be seen when it comes time to report that a new studio was created. Because again, it's all sensationalized. I know perfectly well how rage baiting works. It's an influencer's greatest tool. But how about this time around we talk about something I don't really consider good nor bad news, just news. And it's especially interesting following the events of Microsoft's closure of Tango Gameworks and 3 other studios. It would seem within Activision themselves, who, as we're all well aware of, Microsoft owns, have opened up a new studio. Microsoft Activision team is opening a new game studio in Poland, Elsewhere Entertainment, to build new AAA IPs. The studio boasts The Last of Us, Witcher, Cyberpunk, and Uncharted developers in its team. I don't know, Jez, I think you could have just shortened this and said Naughty Dog and CD Projekt Red. Because the minute I hear The Last of Us and Uncharted, I think movie games, great. And when I think of Cyberpunk, well, you know what I think of Cyberpunk. Either way, it looks like they've put together a team with experience in developing the type of games gaming journalists absolutely love, which is perfect for Microsoft because they completely lack any sort of love from those journalists. If they want to receive the same love as Sony, they're gonna have to put a bunch of movie games together. Now, hopefully these teams are made up of veterans and not the bottom of the barrel employees that nobody wanted at Naughty Dog or CD Projekt Red. Hell, I bet the majority of them are freelancers. But at least now they finally have a makeup, and they're supported by Activision, who's supported by basically one of the richest companies on the planet. And yet I still don't really have confidence because it's Microsoft, but for many Xbox fans, that's probably a positive. I know a lot of Xbox dudes that really like all those games listed right there. So this is definitely giving them a stiffy. They're rubbing one out as we speak. What you need to know, whoa! Microsoft's subsidiary Activision revealed a new studio today, dubbed Elsewhere Entertainment. Ironic. The firm is comprised of industry vets, boasting credits in games like The Last of Us and The Witcher 3. Activision also revealed a new vacancies website for Elsewhere, which will host career options in the coming 2 days. The studio is working on a narrative-based game in a totally new AAA franchise.
I've heard that before.
Microsoft's Activision subsidiary announced today that it is opening a new game development studio to take advantage of the huge talent pool growing in Poland. It'll be the second Activision studio based in the region, joining Infinity Ward, although this studio is, in fact, not working on Call of Duty. Wow, with a bunch of veterans like that, under a company like Activision's watch, with Microsoft's funding, I know the first thing you're thinking in your head is, oh, they'll be shut down real fast. Which is completely understandable because Microsoft does love to close themselves down some studios. Clearly what we're seeing here is Microsoft is indeed going to be relying heavily on Activision. I mean, why wouldn't they? You don't purchase a company worth that much and just keep them on the side. You ride that gravy train. I mean, I don't think Tango Works had to die so that this studio could walk, but it looks like it was formed by Activision. Yes, I know Microsoft's Activision, but I don't believe this was a decision made by them on the corporate level. This was probably always planned. And if I'm looking at it from a business standpoint, it's brilliant. Not games that I have a taste for, but I know it's the type of games that win awards. And based on the way Matt Booty was talking about how they want awards, I'm thinking Activision said, we're on it, we'll form a studio that makes all those types of movie games. Because if Microsoft truly is going multi-plat, they're gonna have to win over the PlayStation audience, and we know what the PlayStation audience likes to play. I'm also willing to bet they're gonna try and tie this in with some sort of TV show, because that's worked out pretty well for them with Fallout, as the TV show did nothing but boost Fallout 4's sales and player count, bringing it to a point where there was more people playing Fallout than Helldivers 2. So don't be surprised if Microsoft wants to capitalize further on that through Activision. It would make total sense business-wise. All I want to hear about is games, as do you, I'm guessing. Either way, Activision is showing why they were worth every single penny. You know they're going to make big bucks on something like this. Of course, with Microsoft sales being down to 800,000 console units sold in the fourth quarter, which is about 5 times less than the PS5, you wonder, will they be able to afford to make something like that exclusive? I highly doubt it. I do see this making its way to other platforms, but that's only good for gamers and the company, really. It does seem like quite an investment. They're not paying just any random developers, they're paying developers to award-winning games with record-breaking sales, which aren't things that matter to you or me, but they matter to the company. I mean, it goes to show that they're gonna be working on more than just Call of Duty, which you would figure most gamers who believe Microsoft is going multi-plat would be looking forward to, but instead, Dreamcastguy is upset about the whole thing, and so are a bunch of other people, which I am legit surprised about.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, and today we're talking about a new Xbox game studio, which is probably a big shock because they just keep shutting studios down. Like, actually consider that. Microsoft bought Lionhead, the makers of Fable, and then shut them down. They made 343 Industries, which is now completely butchered Halo, which used to be great. Just last week, they shut down Tango and Arcane, announcing a new game studio. At this point, the entire internet is both angry, confused, and absolutely laughing at the audacity of Microsoft, but
the audacity to open a new studio? I mean, okay, you can be upset at them for shutting down studios, but to be upset they opened up a studio? Nah, this has gotta be some fake outrage bullshit right now. I, for one, do not believe you are still venting about those 4 studios, okay? Dreamcastguy is the type of guy who tore his shirt in half for the women who were hurt by Activision. The man is nothing but pure fake outrage. You think in his day-to-day life he's thinking once about those 4 studios? No, of course not. Let's be real. You know who just did this, actually? And I didn't see you, bitch. PlayStation with Deviation Games. A studio they made sure ran straight into the ground, which forced the studio to close doors about, what, 2 months ago? Now, 2 months later, PlayStation opens up a new studio made up of some of the members. Where was your outrage? As a matter of fact, where was your video? Non-existent, because you're just farming fake outrage. There's not a day that goes by that you actually think about any single studio that gets shut down. Come on, Dreamcastguy.
now let me just say right up front, I'm not going to knock this team, I'm not going to knock the individual developers, but at this point, Activision and by extension Microsoft, they're not trustworthy. Obviously so.
Oh yeah? And tell me, why did you get a fucking Diablo tattoo, huh? Why did you print yourself with one of their products after you said you were boycotting them for the way Bobby Kotick treated women in his company? You have flip-flopped on Activision more than any single person I have ever seen on the internet.
If you scroll to the comments, everybody is talking about exactly what you would expect them to be talking about.
Christ, is that what you do, Dreamcastguy? You allow Twitter to form your opinions for you? You just go along with threads, don't you, Mr. Play It Safe? What a bizarre thing for anybody to get upset about. It makes no goddamn sense. Hey Microsoft, you know that heavily requested thing we've been asking out of you for years? Yeah? You for finally doing it. Twitter outrage is about as real as identity politics. Twitter will never be able to make up its mind. If Microsoft opened up this studio a year later, they would complain about how long it took Microsoft. They do it now, they complain that it's too soon, Microsoft. Like, there is no winning, ever, when it comes to Twitter. Twitter's the place where people go to bitch, shit gets done on different websites.
This studio is going to be shut down here in the next 2 years for a tax break. Oh, so you're going to close studios down and yet now you're going to open a new studio?
What kind of brain dead attempt at a gotcha is that? Oh, you shut down studios and you open up studios, huh? Yeah, that's what publishers do. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the gaming industry. Yeah, I get it. It's not a pleasant reality, but I know the internet is fully capable of moving on. I mean, if Dreamcastguy can go from ripping his shirt over women in Activision to getting a tattoo of Diablo, I know the rest of you will be fine.
Even if you want to try and be excited about this, I have seen some Xbox people already being like, look, Xbox is going to have great games in 4 or 5 years. Yeah, take that. Look, I don't know how to explain to you how reality works and the linear progression of time, but
Well, if you don't know how to explain reality to people, then we have a bigger problem than Activision forming a new studio.
this is a bad moment to be announcing a game studio right after you close down some studios.
Why? What difference does the timing make? Microsoft didn't even announce it. It was revealed by Activision. What, am I really supposed to be upset there's a new studio just because another one got shut down? Why? Give me a logical reason as to why I should be upset. I'm pretty neutral about it. I don't feel any different. I could see why Xbox dudes would be positive and happy about it. You know how they are. What I can't see, however, is why any sane person would try to be upset about it. It's damned if they do, damned if they don't, no matter what. And that is the audience Microsoft is gonna have to start ignoring, if I'm gonna be real with you. I know that doesn't sound pro-consumer, but you're gonna get nowhere listening to people like Dreamcastguy. I mean, just look at the way all the journalist sites are reporting it. They're reporting it as if it's a negative. They would never do this to Sony or Nintendo or any other publisher I could think of. They didn't report Sony forming the new Deviation Studios as a bad thing. Go to Twitter, take a look for yourselves. It's wild.
And I've noticed some people are a little bit upset. Like, hey, stop making the same jokes about shutdowns. Oh my god.
But he's right. You guys are all acting like a bunch of NPCs. And it's hilarious, repeating the exact same jokes, literal copy pasting, and none of you can actually come up with a reason as to why we should view Microsoft having a new studio within Activision as a bad thing. You're all hell-bent over nothing. You just want your digs at Microsoft. Go ahead, they deserve it for a lot, but this is not one of them.
Look, buddy, I hate to tell you this, but all we can do is laugh. So many companies are doing layoffs. We've seen Square Enix doing layoffs, PlayStation doing layoffs, EA doing layoffs. Everybody's doing layoffs, but Microsoft shutting stuff down.
That's the one that really gets to me. I can't.
I know I keep going back to this, but truly, it does actually make me angry that Arcane and Tango were already making games. They were already making games that are good, that win awards, that are like, they already have a team and a production and a marketing. It annoys me that they are trying to spin up new studios right after shutting down other studios.
Oh, you're angry? You're upset? You're mad? Oh, shut up. These are studios you definitely did not appreciate while they were around. I adored Hi-Fi Rush. It was my favorite game of that year, and I'm already over it. Yet people who didn't even play the game are somehow not over it. Hell, I guarantee you the majority of these people on Twitter will get over their coworkers getting fired faster than they'll get over this.
At this point, I feel like everybody is only talking about the future studio closures because it doesn't matter if you make a good game, it doesn't matter if you make a bad game. Xbox is going to shut you down if you're not making Call of Duty money.
And you know what? I think that's where we're going to end it. I'll watch the rest on stream. I can't stand to look at this dude's face. He looks like a potato with a hat. Again, that's another example of damned if you do, damned if you don't. They complain Microsoft isn't making games that generate money or sell. Now they're mad Microsoft wants to make a studio focused on making money. Again, you can't win with this crowd. They complain Microsoft released too many indie AA games. They shut down indie AA game studios, and now people are pretending to care more about those studios than the AAA studios they've been begging years for. So, like, again, it's fake outrage. It's interesting news more than anything, but if this causes you to have a meltdown like Dreamcastguy, you seriously need help. We'll see how it plays out. And if there's anything I know about Microsoft when it comes to big investments is they drop the ball a lot of the times. But we have Activision here this time. It could maybe work out. Who knows? So like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to keep up with the news. That being said, I'll see you and Dreamcastguy's ugly face later.
Fritongo sucks ass.